Dr. Tara Dawson, physical therapist with Body One Physical Therapy. Welcome to week 4 of our injury prevention program for runners. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of good hip strength, and specifically we're talking about one muscle group called your hip abductors, which are located on the sides of your hips here. These are really important muscles to be strong in runners, and they're often ones that we neglect. So as runners, we're basically in this plane all the time. So we are constantly using the muscles in the front and the backs of our hips to drive us forward in our running pattern. So often what happens is the muscles on the outside, which are responsible for the side to side movement, get neglected just because of the nature of the running pattern. So the muscles on the outsides of your hips are really important because they help stabilize you whenever you're in that single leg stance, which is basically what your running pattern is, right? You're constantly standing on one leg and then standing on the other leg in a very cyclical pattern. So earlier we talked about that lateral step down test, and if you weren't able to do that properly, it could be because you don't have proper hip strength. So today we'll talk about some corrective exercises that will be really important moving forward that can help you prevent injuries throughout this running season. All right, so for this first exercise, we're gonna go actually down to the floor. This first exercise is basically the first modification that you can do. So this will be the starting at the easiest one, and then we'll work our way up to some more advanced exercises. So what you're gonna do is lay on your side, bend at the bottom leg just to help stabilize you. This top leg is gonna be doing all the work. So important things here: rotate your hip forward, bring the leg back just slightly, keep the knee straight. And then what you're gonna do is lift that leg up towards the ceiling and then come back down. And this is specifically targeting muscles on the outsides of the hips here. So common compensations with this exercise is to bring the leg further forward and rotate the hips backwards. So what that's going to do is allow you to use some of the muscles on the front of your hips more. So in order to do this properly, you have to rotate the hips forward and bring the leg back a little bit further. So you want your head all the way in line with your heels to be able to do this. All right, so if that exercise seems pretty easy for you, I'll show you some ways that you can make it more challenging and also to help recruit some of the core muscles more. So we'll go back down into that position. So now what you can do is go into kind of a modified side plank position. So you're going to be up in this position, and you can now do that same leg raise in this position. So this is actually going to help kick on actually the opposite hip as well as the one that's moving it forward here. Same principles, you don't want to let your hips rotate back and forward, so you want to keep that nice neutral alignment to really kick on the hip abductors here. All right, so if that was still too easy for you, what you can do is add a TheraBand in. So you're gonna go back up into that position, leg extends forward, and now you've got a little bit of extra resistance to pull against, which will make it much more of a challenge. Thank you for joining us for week 4 of our injury prevention program for runners. So I think this was a really important week because hip strength is crucial for runners, and it's something that most runners, whenever you test their hip strength, you're going to show a little bit of weakness. So hopefully these exercises, you can really prioritize them. I would do each of these exercises 3 sets of 15. Try to get them in every day if you can. Thanks for joining us this week for week 4 of our injury prevention program for runners. We'll see you next week.